before the Japanese went into the modern era of firearms, they used these, which are kendo sticks, and got a little call, but it's a wooden sword that simulates a katana. And these are still hurt you very bad. This is actually made out of bamboo. This is just wood. And those were used to kind of practice and prepare the samurai before they went out to die, or win, whatever. This is also this is an antique rifle. I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the 1800s. It's a single shot one. It has the loader for it too. And along with that, I also had an old pistol loader too. It's right here. This is hard as hell to shoot, but I can do it because I'm a strong man. Sometimes when you have very annoying little 10-year-old neighbors that try to kill you, they will use a skewer, which is observed right here, or this thing. And yes, this was thrown at me 7 times, I think. This was, they tried to stab me with it, if you know him, Adam. And this is a cavalry sword. The curve is actually the right way that you would think it would be rather than the katana. You take it out. It is also a slice motion. This is to protect your hands. It's a hand guard. All cavalry swords look like that. And this weapon right here is a bow staff. Now, one thing about this weapon is you do not want to do is use it like a lightsaber, any of that kind of crap. And what you want to do with it is have your 2 hands roughly this far apart, and you do never want to change the hand position. You want to keep it like that. And you're wondering, what can you do with it like that? There's lots of things. You can thrust like this. You can go up. You can take it around back. You can do many things like this, and this is much more lethal than, say, any kind of knife would be. It was also developed in China. Very primitive weapon, but very effective. Now, Africa has mainly 2 different kinds of weapons. They didn't really have bows and arrows all the way back. They, like in the BC time period, they had little axes and clubs like this, and they also had spears. Now, this spear used to have like straw that was onto it too, because they used to decorate theirs as much, if not more, than the Japanese people decorated their swords. Nunchucks, you gotta have these. Now, when people are kind of going like this real fast with their nunchucks, they need to catch it eventually. They can't just stop, otherwise it's going to go impaling on their head. So what they do is they catch it right underneath their armpit. This also will make like a harder hit that will stop it, and they, that's how you prevent yourself from getting hit. And going back to the Japanese, you have the side swords. The side swords were used to go against the katana. The katana is a slice motion, so this would do is you try to catch it with these 2 prongs on both sides, and your goal is to try to throw it off and then stab. Quick stab. They are not lined either way with a blade. They just have a sharp tip. That's all they need to have. This also is a fantasy weapon. It's just a dagger. Okay, this is a mace, or some people call it a flail. This was used, yes, in medieval times in Europe and so. And of course, the ball and chain was a lot bigger during the time, but they had some small ones too. And they come in different sizes and shapes. This one is actually wood, and yes, they did have wood ones. Continue with my weapon collection. We have an average kitchen knife, and if you just look at it, this can compare to the different sizes of blades between the different weapons I have. Okay, now we're going to go to, I like to call it cyclone dagger. Gotta forget that. Alright. I'm going to go to modern day game sort of fights. This is not so different than a switchblade. You know, it goes same purpose. Brass knuckles, of course, hold like this, and a chain. A lot of people think if someone has a knife, you're basically fucked. But there is differences. There's something that you can do. You can always use a heavy chain, or even just like a shoe. It is longer than a knife. You can hit it out of someone's hand. You can smack them in the head with a shoe. And to the end, we're going to go to this World War I bayonet. It is an antique. It is not fake. This is a throwing axe. Throwing axes can either be two-handed or one. This is a one-handed. I don't have a two-handed, unfortunately. One-handed, you kind of throw like this. Your hand is gripping it like that. Not like this, like a throwing knife, but like a hand gripping like anything. Now, the difference between these two is this is a throwing axe and this is a tomahawk. Tomahawks have the wooden handle, and they are much heavier, and they are used to go, I guess, further distances. They also will stick into trees a lot better than, say, a little flimsy thing like this would be for. Also, it has a weight on the end of it. We got a few throwing knives in here, too. These are two that broke. Throwing knives, you want to hold at the bottom of it, kind of like a pencil, and you kind of throw like this. Now, you do not want to throw like you've seen in the movies with the blade down. I mean, some knives you can throw like that, but for the little ones like this, you want to hold it with the handle, and you want to look straight ahead. That's important. You need to keep your eyes on the target, and you need to throw like that. This is not a ninja star, it is a shuriken, so you guys know. It's pretty obviously how you throw it. These are Chinese darts, very pointy on the end of it. You want to throw with the dangling red stuff, or whatever the stuff is, on the back. Throw like that. That's all my throwing weapons. Best for last, I have, these are real. My grandfather's brother, he's leader of an airborne group, and I don't know if you can look him up, his name was Kenneth Shaker. These are real bullets to a Walther P38 German handgun pistol. This is actually a Nazi officer had this. Grandfather's brother killed him, so he took his stuff. Also came with a German knife. You can see a little swastika right there. It's also on the gun. It's also one up here. See, there's even rust on it. It's actually killed people. Some of that might even be blood. Okay, and that is all my weapons. Thank you for joining me. I'm Shaker, of course, and now you know that I like weapons.